probably heard that China's medical system is a marvel of efficiency. And you know what? In a lot of ways, it really is. But it's also this incredible place where ancient healing philosophies meet super cutting-edge technology. So today, we're going to take a tour. We're going to unpack how it all works, from the second you book an appointment to the fascinating way it blends two very different worlds of medicine.
So just picture this for a second. Imagine you need to see a specialist. You book the visit, get your lab work done, have the results analyzed, and pick up your prescription. And you do all of that in just a few hours inside the very same building. I know, it sounds like something out of the future, but for millions of people in urban China, this is just a normal Tuesday.
So, how on earth is a system that streamlined even possible? Well, it all comes down to how the whole landscape of care is structured. Let's dive in and break down the different places people go when they need a doctor.
Okay, think of it like a pyramid. Right at the base, you've got your local community health centers. These are for all the everyday stuff. Colds, flu shots, the basics. Go up a level, and you've got secondary hospitals that serve a whole district or region. But right at the very top, the peak of the pyramid, you have the massive tertiary hospitals, the Sanjia Yuyan. These places are the powerhouses. They're huge teaching and research centers where the most complex medical cases get solved.
Now, that's not the only game in town, of course. There's another route you can take, private and international clinics. And these are a really popular option, especially for expats and business travelers. They offer some nice perks, like getting in faster and having English-speaking staff. But yeah, that convenience usually comes with a bigger price tag.
All right, so that's the lay of the land. But how do you actually navigate it? How do you get from, I think I need a doctor, to walking out with medicine in your hand? Let's walk through the entire journey, step by step.
The very first, and I mean absolutely crucial word you need to know, is 挂号. It literally translates to register, but think of it as your golden ticket. This is how you secure an appointment with a department or even a specific sought-after doctor. Seriously, this one word is the key that unlocks the whole process.
So how do you actually do it? How do you 挂号? Well, in most big cities, it's gone incredibly high-tech. You're probably going to be booking through the Hospital Zone app, or even through a mini program that's built right into WeChat or Alipay. It's all on your phone. But don't worry if you're not a tech person or maybe all the online spots are booked, there's always the classic way. Just head to the hospital and use one of the on-site kiosks or walk up to a registration window.
Okay, so you're registered. What's next? Well, the journey from here is remarkably linear. You check in, you pay a small registration fee, and you go see the doctor. If they decide you need tests, like blood work or an x-ray, they often just send you right downstairs. And here's the incredible part. You might get those results back the same day, head back to the doctor, and get an electronic prescription right on the spot.
And once you have that e-prescription, that 电子处方, you can just walk over to the hospital's pharmacy and get your medicine right then and there. Or you can have it filled at an approved retail pharmacy. And in a lot of cities now, you can just tap a button and get your medicine delivered right to your door, often on the very same day. Talk about convenience.
But you know how fast you get through the system is really only half the story. What's truly fascinating is the kind of medicine you might get prescribed. And this is where the system gets really, really unique, because it blends two completely different philosophies of healing, often right under the same roof. So let's explore how Western and traditional Chinese medicine work together. So what exactly is zhongyi, or traditional Chinese medicine? Well, we're not just talking about a few folk remedies here. It is a complete and incredibly sophisticated medical system with a history that stretches back thousands of years. At its very heart, TCM is all about achieving dynamic balance, that harmony of yin and yang. It doesn't see the body as just a collection of parts, but as this deeply interconnected system. So, a diagnosis isn't just about finding one symptom. It's this holistic assessment that involves observing, listening, asking lots of questions, and even feeling the subtle qualities of your pulse. The goal isn't just to treat a disease, but to correct a specific pattern of imbalance that's unique to you.
And the treatments themselves are incredibly diverse. You've got everything from highly customized herbal formulas and acupuncture to therapies like moxibustion, which is where they burn specific herbs near the skin to create this gentle, healing warmth. There's also a form of medical massage called tuina, and of course, cupping. It's this huge toolkit designed to bring your body back into that essential state of balance.
Okay, this comparison right here is the key to understanding the whole dual approach. Western medicine, or CE, is amazing at specifics. It uses tests and imaging to diagnose problems right down to the cellular level. For emergencies, acute infections, surgery, it is the undisputed champion. TCM, on the other hand, takes a much wider view, focusing on that systemic balance and the flow of energy, or qi. Its real superpower is in managing chronic conditions, prevention, and creating these truly personalized care plans.
So here's the most important thing to get. It's not a question of either or. It's not one versus the other. The common sense approach is to use both of them strategically. So, for example, someone with pneumonia will get powerful antibiotics from Western medicine to kill the infection. But they might also get a TCM herbal formula to help with the cough, clear up phlegm, and just speed up their overall recovery. It's really about getting the best of both worlds.
So if you're a visitor or an expat, what does all this mean for you? How do you actually make this system work for you? Well, here are some really essential practical tips. All right, here's your checklist for a smooth visit. First, always bring your ID or passport. You will need it to register. Second, be ready to use mobile pay like WeChat or Alipay. It is king. Also, it's a good idea to check with your insurance about how they handle billing. Now, here is a fantastic pro tip. If a doctor prescribes you herbal medicine, ask for it in granule form. That's Kali-G. They just dissolve in hot water, which is so much easier than brewing raw herbs. And finally, the number you need to know in an emergency is 120.
So when we zoom out and look at the big picture, what do we see? We see a system that's still very much centered around these powerful hospitals, but one that's also evolving, and fast. There's a growing push towards primary care and a huge embrace of digital tools, all making healthcare access faster and more convenient than ever before.
But the real takeaway, the single core idea that makes this whole system so unique, is integration. It's a system that has figured out how to harness the incredible diagnostic power of Western medicine for acute care, while at the same time leveraging the holistic, personalizing strengths of traditional Chinese medicine for prevention, recovery, and long-term wellness.
And that leaves us with a final thought to mull over. As health systems all over the world keep evolving and searching for better ways to care for people, what can we learn from a model that so deeply and practically integrates two fundamentally different yet complementary philosophies of what it truly means to heal?